No. No.
Since its US launch in November 2019, Disney Plus has quickly become one of the more popular streaming services available today. The service has gathered such pop culture icons as The Simpsons, the Star Wars saga, and the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The server carries documentaries from National Geographic and educational programs from Disney Junior and other channels. However, some of these films and TV shows have undergone some changes since they first appeared on screens. Many of these changes were made to remove or alter content that wouldn't fit Disney's family-friendly image. Hey folks, welcome to The Binger. In this video, we're gonna look at 10 movies and TV shows in the Disney Plus library that have been censored. Adventures in Babysitting. The 1987 comedy Adventures in Babysitting launched several successful careers. The film marks the feature directorial debut of Chris Columbus, who would go on to helm such comedy classics as Home Alone and Mrs. Doubtfire. Columbus would also launch the Harry Potter franchise by directing The Sorcerer's Stone and The Chamber of Secrets. Adventures in Babysitting starred Elizabeth Shue, who would go on to receive an Oscar nomination for Best Actress in 1996 for her role in Leaving Las Vegas. The film also starred Vincent D'Onofrio as Dawson, a mechanic who bore a striking resemblance to a certain Norse god turned Marvel superhero. D'Onofrio would go on to star in Full Metal Jacket the same year and appear as Kingpin in the Netflix Daredevil series in 2015. So why did Disney Plus censor it? Some of the language used at the time had to be cleaned up for a family audience. For instance, the censors put the word fool in place of another four-letter F word in the line, "Don't fool with the babysitter." They also replaced an anti-LGBT slur with the word weirdo. Free Solo. The National Geographic documentary Free Solo showed the story of climber Alex Honnold. Honnold attempted to climb El Capitan, a peak in Yosemite National Park, without any ropes or safety equipment. The film won the 2019 Oscar for Best Documentary Feature for its honest portrayal of Honnold's quest, as well as his relationships with his friends and family members. Since Disney owns much of the National Geographic film library, Film Solo became one of the service's standouts among its non-fiction films. So why did Disney Plus censor it? The core value of most documentary features is to present their subjects as they are, without sugarcoating their situations. In the case of Free Solo, those situations are often dangerous and can prompt some not-so-family-friendly language. The service edited some of Honnold's language and cleaned it up to make it more palatable. For instance, in the original film, Honnold drops an F-bomb when describing one of his mistakes. In the Disney Plus version, the audience hears Honnold say, "I messed up." The streaming version also cuts out an expletive when Honnold describes his warrior spirit. Gravity Falls. The animated series Gravity Falls ran on the Disney XD channel from 2012 to 2016. The show featured 12-year-old twins Dipper and Mabel on a summer vacation in Gravity Falls, Oregon. The twins stayed with their great-uncle, who they called Grunkle Stan, and helped him investigate paranormal activities around the sleepy town. So why did Disney Plus censor it? One of Grunkle Stan's trademarks was his fez, a red tasseled cap emblazoned with a gold crescent moon. The fez was supposed to represent Grunkle Stan's membership in the Royal Order of the Holy Mackerel. However, the cap's symbolism could also be interpreted as belonging to other groups, so Disney Brass decided to change the symbol to resemble a fish. According to a tweet from series creator Alex Hirsch, the changes were not always consistent, nor were the reasons for the changes. Apparently, the geniuses over at Disney Plus decided to remove Grunkle Stan's fez symbol for no reason, Hirsch tweeted. They accidentally left it in the thumbnails because they can't even keep track of what they're pretending to be concerned about this week. Hannah Montana. Hannah Montana was one of the biggest hit shows in the history of the Disney Channel. The series ran from 2006 to 2011 and launched albums, concert tours, and loads of merchandise. The premise involved a young singer, Miley Stewart, who tried to balance her double life as a normal teenage girl and the global pop megastar Hannah Montana. The series became a huge hit, especially among young girls who bought everything Hannah Montana, from t-shirts to lunchboxes. The show propelled its young star Miley Cyrus into the stratosphere and helped her start her own singing career. So why did Disney Plus censor it? While the show maintained a family-friendly feel, one name in a one-off episode prompted the censors to step in. In the season 2 episode Yet Another Side of Me, Miley met an experienced singer who frequently changed her persona. The character, an obvious nod to a certain material girl, influenced the younger performer into dumping her wholesome image. The experienced singer's name? Isis. In later airings and on the Disney Plus service, the character's name was changed to Ice. Lilo and Stitch. After adaptations of such classic tales as Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, and The Little Mermaid, Disney's animators took on an original tale with a sci-fi twist. The 2002 animated feature Lilo and Stitch told the story of a young Hawaiian girl who adopts what she thinks is an unusual dog. In reality, the creature is an alien experiment on the loose from its captors. Lilo and Stitch became an instant animated classic and was nominated for the Best Animated Feature Award at the following year's Oscars. Lilo and Stitch was also scheduled to get a live-action remake much like Beauty and the Beast, Mulan, and The Lion King. So why did Disney Plus censor it? In the original version, Lilo hides from her sister Nani by climbing into the clothes dryer. In an effort to steer kids away from hiding in potentially dangerous household appliances, Disney censors altered the scene. Instead of a clothes dryer, Lilo ducks under a table and closes the lid on a pizza box to hide from her sister's prying eyes. The Lion King. The 1994 premiere of The Lion King marks Disney's return to global dominance in the realm of animated feature films. Not only did it spawn the Disney Renaissance, but its popularity also brought the story of Simba, Mufasa, Nala, and Scar to other platforms. The movie inspired a Broadway musical, an animated series, a video game, and a 2019 live-action CGI remake. With such a prominent place in the history of the studio, it was a no-brainer to include The Lion King in the Disney Plus library when the service launched. So why did Disney Plus censor it? Fans who owns the movie on home video may be familiar with an urban legend following the scene where Simba falls to the ground and kicks up a cloud of dust. The story goes that the visual effects crew arranged the dust cloud to read SFX, the abbreviation of special effects. However, some viewers mistook the F for an E. Oops. In the Disney Plus version, the dust cloud doesn't look like any letters, allowing the studio to avoid any controversial misreadings. The Rescuers. The 1977 film The Rescuers marks the first Disney animated feature from the studio since Robin Hood 4 years earlier. The story involved a pair of secret agents whose mission was to rescue an orphan girl from a greedy treasure seeker. The catch? The secret agents are mice. While it didn't have the lasting legacy of Disney's animated classics, it did have a strong box office performance, bringing in $169 million against a budget of $7.5 million. Not bad considering The Rescuers came out only a month after a small independent sci-fi film called Star Wars. So why did Disney censor The Rescuers? As was the case in the early days of home video, observant fans noticed a small detail that flew past moviegoers at the time. Viewers noticed a photo of a topless woman that appeared in 2 frames of the film, much faster than the naked eye could see. In 1999, Disney announced a recall of all home videos of The Rescuers and removed the image. Every release of the film since had the images removed. The Simpsons. With 30 seasons and hundreds of episodes, The Simpsons has become the longest-running primetime scripted series in TV history. The Simpsons has been around so long that if Bart was 10 years old when the show started, he'd be Homer's age by now. When Disney acquired 21st Century Fox in 2019, The Simpsons and their Springfield neighbors moved into the House of Mouse. Naturally, when Disney launched its streaming service, The Simpsons became a big attraction for new subscribers. So why did Disney Plus censor it? Over those 3 decades, The Simpsons has had its share of jokes that have pushed the envelope. While many of those jokes remain intact, Disney Plus dropped 1 entire episode from its library. The season 3 opener Stark Raving Dad had Homer committed to a mental health facility. Homer's roommate, a bald 300-pound man who moved and sounded like music legend Michael Jackson. The character, voiced by Jackson, moved in with The Simpsons and even wrote an original song for Lisa's birthday. However, after the allegations of abuse leveled at the late star in the 2019 documentary Leaving Neverland, Disney dropped the episode. Splash. Years before Ariel and Prince Eric made Fishy Man romance a thing, there was a 1984 comedy, Splash. Splash showed the unlikely love story between a young businessman played by Tom Hanks and a mermaid played by Daryl Hannah. Splash was one of Hanks' first leading roles. Hanks would go on to win back-to-back Best Actor Oscars for Philadelphia in 1993 and Forrest Gump a year later. Hannah would go on to bigger and better roles in films such as Steel Magnolias and Kill Bill. Splash was also an early success for actor-turned-director-producer Ron Howard. Howard would win the Best Picture and Best Director in 2002 for A Beautiful Mind. The sweet romance and the seminal career status of Splash made it a perfect fit for the Disney Plus library. So, why did Disney Plus censor it? In the original version, when Daryl Hannah's character Madison returns to the sea, the audience gets a clear view of her backside. The Disney Plus version employs some 21st century CGI and gave Hannah some additional hair to cover her bare derriere. Toy Story 2. The first Toy Story film brought top-quality CGI animation to a wider audience. The wizards at Pixar showed that audiences will come out in droves to see memorable characters regardless of if those characters were made of paint or pixels. Toy Story 2 expanded on the Pixar-verse as Buzz Lightyear and pals had to rescue Sheriff Woody from an unsavory toy collector. So, why did Disney Plus censor it? One of the trademarks of the Pixar film is the blooper reel shown at the closing credits. Moviegoers who packed up the kids and headed for the exits during Toy Story 2's theatrical run may have missed a joke that also slid past the censors. The original cut shows the prospector, voiced by Kelsey Grammer, chatting up a pair of Barbie-styled fashion dolls. The prospector promises to give the tall blonde twins some acting tips in a way that made him seem like a sleazy casting director. In the light of the Harvey Weinstein scandal and the hashtag #MeToo movement, Disney decided to delete the scene from future releases. So what do you think? Are there any other moments of censorship on Disney Plus that we missed? Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to like this video, share it with your friends who are Disney fanatics, and subscribe to The Binger to get notified about our latest videos. Thanks for watching.